The trio thing didn't work out. And you know what? That's okay. The thing about what happened last year or my freshman year was that we were all busy. Okay, so they let me do a little brand refresh, a brand redo. Oh, a rebrand. Good one. They let me rebrand the brand that we never really had, and now I'm just gonna do a solo podcast because it's so hard coordinating a schedule between three busy smart girls. Okay, there is no hate anywhere. There's no shade anywhere. We all just felt it was like a mutual collaboration, mutual communication, mutual agreement to decide that maybe this wasn't the path for us, but I still like to talk. Like, I feel like in all of the old episodes that I did with my friends, I would always be not like constantly, but I'd be the one that talked the most. Like, I got the most talking time. And I feel like, wait, I have something to show you guys because you guys, my beautiful audience. What I'm about to show you is a greatly innovation. It's a big stone in my life, and it's something that really crafted the person I am today. So I'm a sophomore in high school. I am a 10th grader, and almost a decade ago, I got an award. Brace for yourselves. I don't know if I'm pretty sure it's inverted, but it says Chatterbox along the top. I got this beautiful award in 7th grade, 3rd grade, almost 7 years ago. And I feel like when I first got it, I laughed. Like, I really laughed because I found it so funny, and my friends found it so funny, and they were like, yeah, yeah, that's you, Tavisha, that's you. Um, I feel like this award really aligns with who I am today, but also it's much more than I am. I'm a chatterbox, but it's also like that's not the only thing I am. I remember when I was in 3rd grade, all the other kids got awards that were like future president or like most likely to win the Nobel Prize, and I got chatterbox. Like, I'm pretty sure my 3rd grade teacher made this specific award for me, like just for me. I'm pretty sure she told me that. It's like in my memory somewhere. Like, she told me that she made this award just for me because of how much of like a person I was and how much I talked. Well, no shade on my 3rd grade teacher. I loved her. She's like the best teacher I've literally ever had in all of my elementary school years. Like, I loved her. But the thing is, even though I'm like a chatterbox and I'm a social person, the thing about it is like not like competitive. Not that I get competitive, but like I'm always like, and I don't pride myself in this, but I'm always like trying to take the lead and like always trying to make my own point seem bigger than everyone else's. And I don't like that about myself. So the reason I created Blooming Season is because I'm going to bloom along with you guys. And this podcast is sort of like an analysis on blooming in everyday life and blooming like being defined as like flowering or like blossoming and finding who you really are. Um I have cherry blossoms. Yes, they're in a water bottle. I have literally don't have anything else. I literally don't have anything else to hold them. Like, this is actually embarrassing. They're just like they're just standing here in a water bottle next to my blanket that's holding them up. Um well, now that I've shared a piece of myself with you guys, Chatterbox, I'm going to share what this podcast is about, even though I already kind of did that. Um, Blossoming Season is for Blossoming Season. I think they're interchangeable, okay, the titles, because listen, Every time I'm trying to say blooming season, I always say blossoming season. Ignoring that, blooming season is basically just like a refresher, not only for me, but for society, because there's so much negative stuff going on right now, and I feel like we all need like a fresh start, a new start. And I feel like this is exactly what we need. I feel like we need to turn to nature, and I feel like we need to appreciate what we already have and try to become better people than what we already are before. Um, this podcast, I feel like since um a whole chunk of my life is already like structured, and even though I like having structures and being like organized, I feel like this podcast won't be like structured the way I want it to be. Like flowers are, flowers bloom early, flowers bloom late, some flowers bloom on time. I feel like this podcast will be like that until I'm comfortable enough to like, settle in and like be who be prepared for a schedule to come out. I feel like for the first like few episodes, they'll come out whenever I have time because I'm a busy girl. I have a busy schedule and I pride myself in being occupied in my everyday life because I'm always doing something. And I'm thinking about currently recording this podcast on the weekends or like in the mornings when I actually have time to because I want like a week to edit. And also to talk about the length of these podcast episodes, I think they're going to be like 10 to 15 minutes long because one thing I noticed last year when I was doing my 3Ps podcast was when I was looking at viewer statistics, a lot of viewer like not implementation, a lot of like during the video duration, a lot of viewers stopped watching after like a minute and 30 seconds or like a minute and 20 seconds. And I don't want to have like a community that just watches a lone girl just yapping to nobody and herself for like 40 minutes. Like that doesn't attract viewers. It makes them like not want to watch the whole thing. And I completely understand that because I also too have the attention span of a goldfish. But yeah, that's basically what this podcast is. Some plans I have are like analysis on like people in like TV shows and movies blossoming. Like for example, Belly in The Summer I Turned Pretty, how she blossomed throughout the seasons. Or like, whoa, did you guys hear that? How she blossomed throughout the seasons, and also like how to like how to allow yourself to bloom, how to allow others to bloom, and how to become a better version of yourself. I don't know if I'm exactly qualified for this job, but I feel like I was thinking of naming this podcast Digital Therapy. Not that I'm like a therapist or anything, but I feel like I give good advice. And not only good advice, I know what it's like to be busy and I know what it's like to always feel like you have something to do. And I know what it feels like to be down in the dumps, especially you're when you have such a busy schedule and you feel like nothing will ever happen and that your life isn't important and like you're tired of whatever's going on in your life. I feel like a fresh start is really important for those people. Also for people who are doing good in their lives, like to appreciate them and how to like appreciate everyday life even more than how you're already doing it. So that's just a little introduction to this podcast. A little thing I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna create whole new accounts because I already ran the other accounts for my old podcast with the 3Ps in a pod. I feel like this podcast will be much more successful because it's something like special to me, it's unique to me, and I feel like I control what I do, and if I'm not doing it well, then if I'm not uploading or if I'm taking long periods of breaks, I'll have to communicate that to you guys because what happened last year was that we never really communicated anything with you guys even though we accumulated like 45 subscribers, which I'm kind of proud about actually. But I think the key to this is being consistent and actually like listening to viewers and enjoying myself while I'm making this podcast because I know what it's like to be overwhelmed by school and also this a podcast. So I don't want it to be too much on me. I don't want it to be too much on my grades or my social life or whatever. So I'm going to keep these podcasts short. And yeah, I'm rebranding the YouTube, the Three Ps in a Podcast YouTube, to become the Blooming Season YouTube. I'm going to rebrand the Instagram to become the Blooming Season Instagram. And I'm also going to rebrand the TikTok to be Blooming Season TikTok. It'll literally just be me, bro. I don't know what to tell you guys. This podcast is literally just me, unless I have like a special guest. But I don't want to do more than one special guest, like in a month, okay? And if I do have a special guest, they're gonna be like my close friends. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys enjoyed the first episode or the first entry of Blooming Season because I really enjoyed it, and I feel like talking to myself on my own company is so much like it's so refreshing. Like I talk to myself on an everyday basis, like while I'm making my bed, while I'm doing the dishes, while I'm doing my homework. It's like having a vlog to do in the morning with makeup, but like actually doing it without the makeup. You feel? But anyways, that was Blooming Season. Entry number 1, topsoil. And I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, I'll put them in the. You guys should put them. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can put them in the comments. I'll probably answer them because I'm not as busy on weekends. I hope I accumulate a good crowd.